Hello, and welcome to this video presentation. My name is Paul Brett. I am a Senior Software Support Analyst supporting the Transformation Extender product from IBM. The topic for this video is running ITX maps on a Raspberry Pi. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett IBM. The Raspberry Pi range of development boards are ARM-based, low-cost, full-featured computers. Box86 is an emulator for x86 user space tools on ARM Linux systems, allowing such systems to execute programs that have been compiled for x86 Linux systems. Before moving forward, I want to state that no serious testing has been done, and this solution is not supported by IBM. Here I have an SSH connection to my Raspberry Pi 4. Now you could use a Raspberry Pi 3 or even 2 for this, but I'm using a Raspberry Pi 4 for the performance and because it's better at running the 64-bit version of Raspbian. I had the latest version of Raspbian installed, but there are a few commands that I need to run to get it fully up to date. The first command is an apt update command, which I have to prefix with sudo because it needs root authority. Okay, that's complete. Now the next command. The next command is a apt full-upgrade, also prefixed with sudo. And that is now complete. Step 2 is to install some tools, notably Git and build and cmake tools. With that step complete, we can move on to step 3. For step 3, I'm going to clone the Box64 source code from Git. The command I'm using is git clone and the URL address of the current Box64 repository. And that is step 3 complete. Let's move on to step 4. For step 4, we are going to go into the Box64 directory we have just cloned from Git and cmake the files required. We can now use this file to compile the x64 emulator on our Raspberry Pi. And that's the end of step 4, the compile step. Let's move on to step 5. Step 5 is installing the software. The install is pretty quick, so that's step 5 done. The next step is to issue a reboot command to ensure that all of the software becomes active. After the reboot, the next step is to install ITX. As you can see, I have the ITX 10.11 install file, which I now need to unzip. Now I have my tar file, I can go into my recently created empty ITX 10.11 installation directory and extract this tar into it. Before running the setup script, I'm going to make one change to ensure that the ld_preload variable is not set, as this causes problems on the Linux platform. I've identified the two lines where the ld_preload variable is set, and I'm going to comment those out. I'm going to save my changes. And now we're ready to run the setup script. With the setup script successfully executed, the next step is to run a map. As you can see, I have a map here called toupper.mmc. No prizes for guessing what this does. I shall show you the content of my input file, and then I shall run the command server. If I run the command server as is, I will get the command server run, but I will also get a lot of error messages pop up on screen. This is a side effect of the Box64 software. As you can see, the map has completed successfully, but we do have all those ugly errors. We have our output file, output.txt, and we have our audit log, toupper.log. The output file contains my uppercase version of my input string. If we want to suppress the errors, we can add an extra item to the end of the string. By suppressing all errors, we get the normal output. And there we have it. That's my demonstration of using the ITX command server on a Raspberry Pi using the Box64 emulator. Once again, I just want to state that this is just for fun. It's not meant to be a serious demonstration, and this is certainly not a solution that is supported by IBM. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video presentation today. If you found the content interesting and informative, please hit that like button and perhaps consider leaving a comment. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel as I release content such as this on a regular basis. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett IBM. Thank you.